Hey there, and welcome to an episode of Tales from the Podcast. Hey, there's Chuck. Check that out, guys. That's
Hi,
fucking
folks.
weird.
Isn't this strange?
Oh yeah, definitely. Not sure exactly what's going on with the normal guest this week. He confirmed earlier.
And maybe something came up. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious or whatever.
Right. Yeah, you never know. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, I am very happy. At least my good buddy Chuck gets to join me for this episode. It should be a pretty interesting one to say the least, though, man. And
yeah, it's a good episode. It's a good episode.
Yeah, I was surprised that like last minute you were like, it was obviously a couple hours ago. You're like, man, I didn't even realize this was the episode you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's another one of those
cool.
I forgot really loved.
Well, I mean, like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that of all the episodes, like this is one that got you. And hey, David, good evening, imitating Hitchcock. Love it for sure. So, anyways, let's go ahead and just jump right into this episode and get this fucker rolling, man.
Yeah.
So, the episode that we're doing tonight is episode 10 from season 5, Came the Dawn, based off of Shock Suspense Stories, issue number 9. And this episode aired November 17th of 1993. Pretty simple.
Right, yeah.
I mean, obviously when we get into the episode, you'll actually get to see a little bit more about what was going on with it. But anyways, Yuli Adele is the director of this. Not really, like a lot of the things that he's done before really weren't like things that would really be in our wheelhouse, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, he did like Homicide, Life on the Streets, an episode of Oz, like nothing like too drastic. And quite a bit of foreign films, which, I mean, you can kind of see that with the name that's like that. Which, it's fine, but I mean, you get that quite a bit.
I mean, I like, I'm a big Law and Order fan, so I could totally get behind that a little bit.
You come off as a big Law and Order fan.
I am a big.
When I first met you, I was like, you know what? I bet this guy really likes himself some Law and Order.
I do. I'm in love with Mariska Hargitay.
I believe you. I do.
Yeah.
So, anyways, to jump into some of the people who were in this episode, we have Michael Pollard as Ed. Not a very big role, but a role nonetheless. Obviously, people like, I'm sure Chuck would agree with me on like this one, but people like Chuck and I would probably know him best from like Scrooged.
Yeah.
Things like, he was in House of 1,000 Corpses as well, though.
He was?
Yes, he was Stucky.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, so, I mean, that's cool, too. And, David, they brought back the original Law & Order. No way, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, they did, actually.
Oh, and guess what? Our guest for this evening decided to pop in, so let's go ahead, bring him up, and introduce Martel. Hey, how's it going, man?
Going pretty good. How's it going?
Pretty good. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it on tonight, man.
I was logging in, then my computer got stuck on another screen because I was editing my next podcast episode.
Happens.
Right. So, anyways, to keep it all rolling, we're going through the episode talking about some of the people who have been in this episode. I guess to keep the ball rolling on this, we also have Perry King in this episode as Roger, who he's been in a few things as well, like The Day After Tomorrow, Class of '84. He's probably been in the most. Well, I don't know. I mean, Brooke Shields been in quite a bit too. I think.
He's the main guy in the episode, right?
Yeah. For sure.
You know what's fucked up? You know what I remember him from besides this episode?
Was that?
Is years ago when I think I was in high school or middle school one. There was this show on USA. I think it was called USA High or something like that. And he played like the dean of the college or whatever the hell it was of the private school.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Stupid trivia.
I guess you're gonna make me bring out my fucking inner nerd here. So he was also the voice of Han Solo on the radio drama of Return of the Jedi.
That would be something you would know.
So to be fair, I am covered in Star Wars tattoos. But anyways, I mean, still a good career. And then we also have Brooke Shields in this episode.
Who's she again? I'm kidding.
Well, she's this lady.
Blue Lagoon. I remember. I was a kid.
Midnight Meat Train. It's like people forget about that movie. Like that was a
I like that movie. She was the fucking agent chick or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I almost forgot she was in that. Yeah, it's been a minute since I watched that.
Yeah. I thought she did a really good job in that one. I mean, that's one that you don't really expect her to be in either.
No, not at all, really.
Like that's one that's really cool. So you know what? She was also in but the other guys. She's been in a ton of shit, dude. Let's just be honest. I mean, she has well over 100 fucking credits.
Yeah.
Chick's been in everything. And if she hasn't been in everything, I mean, she's also probably been in every fucking magazine, too.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very, very well-known lady.
Yeah. I'm sure there's been a lot inside of her, too.
That's possible.
If you remember back I don't know if you remember back when she started, like, really blowing up, she was one of those that dated, like, it was always in the tabloids and shit that she was dating this guy or she was with that whole fucking thing.
Interesting. Yeah. Hey, Sean, how's it going, buddy? And yes, I do remember that. So, anyways, going to backtrack a little bit since we got that out of the way. Thank you, Martel, for joining us tonight, man. I mean, it's always a blast, that's for sure.
I'm Chuck, by the way. Nice to meet you, Martel.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
So
JB's a rude asshole.
You go for yourself.
Do you introduce your wife to people? Or you just make her do it herself.
What?
Do you introduce people to your wife, or do you make her do it herself?
It depends on who it is.
Fucking really? God, you're dangerous.
All right. Now this is gonna suck because this person's probably gonna see this. So the last person I didn't really feel like introducing to my wife, so I just had him stay outside.
That poor guy.
I've had friends like that in the past. I'm like, I don't really. You don't want me. You don't. You know.
It just depends on who it is. You know what I mean? Because like in my house, it's not just my wife. It's my kids.
I'm the same fucking way. I mean? I get it.
Like,
and also, if
not a lot of people, I would do that for.
If I also know that a buddy of mine and my significant other, if I have one at the time, don't get along, or if I figure they're probably not gonna get along, most likely no, they're not. I do the same thing. Stay the fuck outside.
You just dip it. Fuck it.
Get in the van. Stay there.
Right. Like, don't get me wrong though. Like, majority of the time it's fine, but I mean, it just depends on the situation. But anyways, there's always something I always want to ask somebody when they come on for the first time. So obviously, Martel, I'm assuming that this is not the first time that you sat down and watched an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Actually, it is. I seen the movie version, but far as like the TV show, it's my first time sitting down while actually watching it. Considering that this episode, I was only a year old when this episode actually came out. So,
I mean, that is fair. I think I was 4 or 5. So, I mean, I wasn't much older, that's for sure. But wow. Well, anyways, I was going to ask you what got you into Tales from the Crypt, but clearly it was me. And hopefully you can.
My older siblings. My older siblings actually watched it, so I knew about it.
Oh, okay.
Were they also the ones that had when you watched the movies? Did you know about it from them?
Yep.
See, right there. So they did.
Yeah,
You can't take full credit, JB.
Well, no,
yeah,
no,
both of my
no.
older
Right,
brothers
that's
was
fair.
born in I got another brother born in the early '80s and late '80s, so that's I found out through them.
Oh, nice. Well, but when he answered that this was the first episode he sat through, I mean, what was the first movie you watched?
I actually don't know the name of it. I just remember it being some creepy movie with a skeleton guy talking as a kid, and then I actually didn't know it was an actual movie until like years later that I sat there and watched. So it's
Did it have demons or vampires? Do you remember?
I have no idea. This was like probably
Did
last
it
time I
have
saw it
boobs
was
or
like
a haunted
'98.
house?
Probably I think it was a haunted house.
That's probably.
Probably, I said it was Demon Night.
Yeah.
Either way,
like Demon Night. You would remember.
That's awesome though. But
nipple chick.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing no nudity as far as I know of.
it must have been a while then. See, this is the plus. Here's the plus side of this though. Now he has a shit ton of cool stuff to watch.
Oh yeah.
If so want to.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this, you got 7 seasons and then 3 seasons of a cartoon.
Oh yeah, I was getting kind of I was like, I don't know what part we discussed it, but I was like, was somebody just killed that chick already? Like I was kind of excited waiting for the death to happen.
Right. Well, hey, I do not blame you whatsoever on that. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this real quick then. So I mean, this episode is honestly pretty cut and dry. So, we actually, you know what? I go through this story thing all the time. Chuck, when was the last time you watched this episode?
Would you? It has been a minute, but from what I remember,
I'll fill in for you, whatever.
Okay.
Do.
Now, Brooke Shields she's a hitchhiker, right?
No. I'll just go ahead and do this.
I can't remember. He's on a date with her. Just fucking do it, dude. God damn it. Right. I know once you get past, how I whatever.
Right. So it opens up. We don't see that, who it is right now at this point in time, but there's a man on a date with this woman, and he's just sitting there staring at her cleavage. Eventually, she goes to the bathroom and she's kind of like practicing some like fake raunchy lines, and a woman comes in and chops her up with an axe. Then it cuts over. We get this guy driving a really nice car with a very, very fancy car phone. I remember those fucking car phones, dude.
I remember the car phones.
Those were so fucking sweet back in the day, dude. And he's making a phone call, and the woman's not answering the phone for him, and kind of leaving a shitty message, like, if it's you, Roger, blah blah blah, don't, just kind of being a bitch about it or whatever. So we really don't really know at this point in time like what was going on between him and this woman. And as he's driving, he sees this truck that's broke down in the rain. He goes and drives past her, then it goes back and actually goes and picks her up. And tries to play it off like, hey, I could take you here, I could do this, I can call this, and kind of after exhausting all of his ideas, he basically came to the point of like, hey, well, we can go back to my cabin, I could use the company.
Yeah.
Takes her back there where you could tell that she's having a lot of issues, and well, before that they stopped by a small little. It's weird because it's like on the way to a cabin in the woods. You can kind of tell that it's a little bit kind of like more south, because I mean that's where you get a lot of these cabins in the woods. And he goes to stop by like this little party type store thing on the way, and they have like oysters and crystal, which I mean, Chuck.
I don't know of any place like that because I'm in the South. I don't know of any places in the middle of like that, like in the middle of nowhere like that would have crystal and oysters and shit like that. Usually it's just like, hey, here's your booze, get the fuck out.
Right. Right. It's fucking weird, but
Mom, you got any of that crystal back there? I heard that was pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just no.
And he did have some.
He did. It's so happy he did.
It's like, yeah, who the fuck has this just laying the fuck around? And yes, I definitely see the relation to Psycho on this one a little bit. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, anyways, while talking to, I believe his name is Ed, the guy there. They're chatting about how there was a murder earlier, and a truck's been stolen, and all these things. So, obviously, the guy Roger's getting some ideas on his head, but still ends up taking her back to his place. And keep in mind, the whole time that they were actually in the store, the woman was in his car, getting ready to steal his car, but, stole a roll of quarters, stole a cigar. I mean, yeah, just kind of a shitty woman, to be honest. I mean, who the fuck steals a man's roll of quarters? But
A bitch.
dude, you can wash your car with that. But they go back and
My laundry with that shit.
they do start to get along, and after getting along a little bit, they're kind of playing it off like maybe some fooling around is gonna happen, and they hear a noise. So Roger goes downstairs to figure out what the noise was, and gets the woman to hide outside on the balcony. She we don't really see too much of Roger after that. She ends up coming back inside, grabbing a bag that she stuffed full of clothes, jewelry, etc., and was going to go sneak out. As she's going to sneak out, she sees a safe's open with more jewelry in it. So she's getting ready to go that way, and that's when we see a woman step out who has grabbed an axe off the wall. This woman is not a woman, but Roger dressed up as a woman.
Dude looks like a lady.
That killed me right there.
Oh God!
I did not see that coming.
Oh well, you wait, because I always do a comic book comparison, so you're going to get an idea of what the original source material was like as well. Ends up chopping her up, and that's basically the end of the episode. We have no real continuation from there. So as far as the differences in the comic book, this episode is pretty fucking different, to be honest with you. So we got a man who comes home. He lives in a cabin, and there's a woman there already. She doesn't really have much clothes on. She has wrapped up in a sheet, and he ends up talking with her and stuff, and they get along really well, and I'm kind of making love type thing. And it's interesting too, because we see a lot of cigarette smoking and promotion of cigarettes in this episode, which is funny, but or not in the episode, but in the comic book. And then after they kind of do their thing, she is sleeping. Then he hears on the radio about a blonde woman who's escaped from a mental institution, who did not have any clothes, which was basically matching up to this woman in the comic book. So he's already instantly thinking, all right, well, I got this crazy woman over my house. I'm kind of falling for her and everything. So he tries to go and trick her, gets her out of the house, kind of shuts the door and locks the door. And then a few seconds later, you see blood seeping in from under the door. He opens the door to find the woman that he was talking to dead on the ground, with a blue jumpsuit from the institution on her, and a different blonde woman running away dressed in those clothes. And that is the actual comic book. So, there's a very large difference there. That's for sure.
Yeah, completely.
The comic book really played off the sexuality and the I guess the craziness of women back in the 50s.
Yeah, back in the 50s. Just back.
I probably said that wrong.
Not now at all.
They've changed.
Just perfectly sane women out there now.
Oh,
I'm gonna get beat. I'm glad I'm single.
Fine. They are fine. It just depends on what you.
Yes, they are. And they're right.
Unfortunately, Chuck, maybe you just haven't met the right ones.
I don't care anymore.
You don't care anymore? Well, you should. You should. So, anyways, Martel, man, this being your first time on, your first time actually sitting through an actual episode of Tales from the Crypt. What did you think of this? And when you're done giving your thoughts on the episode, if you can give me a rating between 1 and 10, please.
So my thoughts on the episode was, to me it was just starting off a little bit too slow. I did like the guy that worked in the in the grocery store or whatever that was. His lines were hilarious. Like he said, he put a bullet, like a hole in him, like a Buick or something like that.
Yeah.
I chuckled on that. On that, so I actually enjoyed this episode. I don't think I was supposed to laugh as much as I was watching this episode.
Probably not, but it's okay.
I know, right? So I'm like, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm actually going to keep watching now that I sat here down and watched it. Um, like I said, the whole Roger thing had kind of caught me off guard at the end, because at the whole time I was like, I'm getting mad at her, like, you deserve to get killed now because you went back in the house being greedy, trying to get more stuff, so you deserve to get killed. So I'm like really getting into this and I'm getting angry, but at the same time I'm getting so excited for her to get killed. And I'm like I really like the episode. So like, if I had to give it like a scale, like I said, more at least between 1 and 5, I give it a 4.
All right, so if it was 1 and 10, you'd go around.
Oh, 1 and 10. Oh, about an 8 then. Yeah,
okay,
8.5.
That's a pretty fucking solid episode. You know, one, especially considering that you've never actually watched an episode. Like that's actually really, really cool. I'm happy for sure that you fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah,
though.
I didn't find out it was the actual series until I had met you.
Oh wow!
So like, I only knew about the movie. So yeah, I didn't know it was a TV show until you told me.
Well, I'm happy you were able to check it out, and hopefully you continue to check it out, man.
He's going to send you messages after messages of what to watch, information and trivia.
I mean, I'm off this weekend, so I'm down to watch more now.
Well, luckily for you, I mean, they're pretty short episodes, and you can wipe through those seasons pretty fast.
I mean, yeah, and they're all. I mean, there's not really a horrible episode until you get to like the last couple of seasons, but.
And you get the entire box set on DVD for like $45-$50 online. So
with all the special features included.
Yeah.
All I know is I was like, I wish this episode was a little bit more longer, just so I could see Roger being a little bit more crazy still. Like maybe him getting into like getting another victim or something like that. Because it just still catches me off guard. Like I didn't expect him to be arguing with himself.
No, for sure. Because maybe Roger killed his bullying wife and he felt guilty that it caused him to have a split personality of her.
I believe
it's very possible. We don't really get to see a lot of it, and then with no backstory in the comic book, it doesn't really.
None of that. Did Roger call himself on the phone? If he was his wife the whole time? Like, wait, I just confused myself. It was
a recording, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he never got to talk to her. It was just voicemail.
Because he appeared on the screen too. It was like he pre-recorded the whole thing because he showed up on the TV.
Yeah, so it almost makes you think that maybe he didn't have somebody with a split personality is really going to believe those things are happening. Somebody who is just full-blown insane is going to record themselves and pretend that's real. So I think there's a little bit of a difference there.
I think David might actually have something with that. That actually, I mean, that seems logical in this kind of situation.
Well, I mean, it does until you realize the recordings. And then it's like he knows because he's watching them.
But what if he started doing it before he really started going crazy and the recordings like end up just making his like psyche get a little more intense?
Why would you do that if you have split personality?
Why does anybody do anything they do if they got? I mean, come on, man.
I don't know. We're overthinking it. Anyways,
are we really overthinking it?
Maybe. Where would you rate this one, buddy? And what do you think?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I do remember this. It has been minutes since I've watched this one, but I do remember like pretty much everything about it. I felt the same way. I thought she fucking deserved to be like hacked up, whatever, piece of shit. The guy was trying to help her, Now, granted, even if she wasn't being a piece of shit, she's probably still gonna die. But this way, we feel a little better about it. But I like this one. I do. It's one that is memorable that I remember watching as a kid. I think between 1 and 10, I think I'll give it an 8 as well. Actually, that seems pretty fair. It's a good one. It's pretty good. Pretty cut and dry. Pretty straightforward, to the point. Keeps my interest. I enjoy it.
Right. I guess for me, I thought this was a fun episode. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go probably closer to a 7 personally. Like this definitely fits the bill of a Tales from the Crypt episode, but me personally, in my own opinion of Tales from the Crypt episodes, I tend to like the ones with a little bit more horror happening. like there is the horror aspect there, the murder and stuff, but it's like,
more psychological, more of a
yeah,
psychological thriller aspect
you
on
know,
this one.
like I'm definitely more into when they're doing like a creature episode or just something really fucking creepy and odd. This one doesn't really have too much of a creepy aspect to it, like kind of like what David was saying earlier, how it kind of like reminds him of Psycho. You do kind of get that like classic, Hitchcock kind of vibe off this one,
Which
even
isn't
though
bad.
no, it's not bad. Like,
I mean, fucking Hitchcock, man.
it is what it is. It's not a horrible thing, I mean, it's a good thing to be compared to it, that's for sure. But me personally, it's just not like a top episode for me. I mean, 7 out of 10 is still pretty fucking good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's much worse episodes of the series.
Yeah, season 7.
Yeah, season 7 definitely.
What's the name Norma trigger for him? Because I remember he said the name Norma.
Norma was the name of the opera.
Yeah.
That's who she lied and said her name was because she looked down at the CD.
Oh.
Yeah. Keep in mind that I believe CDs just became really popular about that time that they had those in there.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so weird. Yeah.
To promote.
Like 1993. I mean, like, I think it was shortly after that when I got my first CDs. That's for sure. But
what was your first CD? Do you remember your first CD?
Mine?
Yeah.
We've already talked about it.
What was it though? I can't remember.
Manson.
Okay, that was like the first CD you bought or like given to you.
Oh no, I
just one you had, just the first one you had.
That was back in the day when a parental advisory stickers, like they wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
sell
I remember.
It to you. They wouldn't sell it to you. Yeah. So no, my dad did buy it for me.
Yeah, I wasn't that lucky. My first CD that I was given a classical CD, which was actually pretty cool. And then my second CD was the Mass soundtrack and John Michael Montgomery.
Oh god.
And then Garth Brooks. And then it went to Guns N' Roses, and then I am who I am now.
I mean, it definitely shows the progression. What about you, Martel?
Yeah.
Do you remember your first CD?
So I have a weird WWE fetish. So it was actually a WWE anthology CD.
Awesome.
Fair enough.
That's a good answer.
In the late 90-ish era, we were still ordering the cassette tapes through the little catalogs they send through your house. So you like get five albums on cassette for like $10 or something like that.
Yeah, Columbia House and shit. I was in there.
Yeah. So we're still getting stuff like that. And then as I became older, that's when I got the WWE anthology CD set, the 3-disc set.
Well, that's pretty cool. I still remember my first cassette too was David Bowie's Diamond Dogs.
What? I have seen that.
I think when it came to cassettes, I would say that my first cassette that I had was it was either the Crow soundtrack or Green Jelly Serial Killer soundtrack. Oh, I'm sorry, Beck Mellow Gold. That was my first.
A really good one too.
That's a damn good album.
That wasn't one of my first, but it's definitely one that I still go back to this day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Beck's fucking awesome, though. To be fair.
Yeah, I wish I still had on tape.
Anyways, Martel, man, we usually in the beginning of an episode we kind of like chat for a little bit, but you we're running a tad bit late, which is fine. But why don't you go ahead and give everybody a little bit about, tell them a little bit about you and what you're doing over there at Same Cast Different Day.
So I'm Martel Rowland. Over at Same Cast Different Day, I am the main cast member over there. And what we do is we be in everybody else's business but our own sometimes, because sometimes it's better to talk about everybody else's business. And on top of that, we talk about things that's going on in the world and our lives and things of that matter. One of the main issues that we've been talking about is the waste of money that our President Uncle Joe been doing, sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine when we still haven't solved our inflation problem. We're the only country that's basically not a third world country that doesn't have universal health care. So it's a lot of things that we've been tackling that I feel like government people
don't get too hard on him, please, until he equals my student debt.
It's just a lot of things that we feel like that middle class people don't get hurt, and we try to get things out there that middle class people can get hurt. So we do a lot of, but basically do a lot of that, and then we talk about other people's business. We use code
Awareness.
names though. We don't drop real names. Sometimes we use code names, and people in our everyday lives know their code names, so they eventually know that we're talking about them.
Well,
I can
that's
do that.
fair. And those links that I've shared, that is his Facebook page as well as his YouTube channel. If you're
Woo!
watching this, I mean, give him a sub. Check out what he has going on Facebook. I mean, not only has he done stuff like that, but I mean, you've had me on there. I mean, you've had a nice little, selection of like, people actually on the show just as guests and stuff. Where I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
hit a variety of different things just from that alone.
We've had army veterans. I've had politicians. I've had this Colombian music star who's now on the rise. He's now out touring now. He's been on the podcast. We have people on there for transgender awareness. So it's a lot that we've had on the show.
That's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool, man. I mean, I think you're killing it, dude. I think you're doing a great job. I still talk about when I did your show. So, like, I had a lot of fun bullshitting with you and stuff. And
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
realistically, we both went into it kind of blind, so it was kind of fun.
We always try to make it fun for whoever comes on the show because I feel like when people are coming in blind and they don't really know what to expect, that's when you get the best material out of people.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I
definitely.
100% agree with that for sure, man. I personally think that's always one of the best ways to go with it. Um, anyways, with your show and everything, dude, do you have very regular set day? I noticed that a lot of your videos pop up at random times, but um, I watch a lot of your videos. I haven't actually checked out if you're actually on like a podcast catcher, but do you have a certain day that you're releasing your episodes on?
Yep. So we drop episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. They normally release around midnight. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Between 7 p.m. 7:15, a live will start on YouTube.
Awesome, awesome. And obviously, if you get that little notification bell there, you're gonna see those popping up all the time. So check those out and check out what Martel
If you
has
watch
going on.
if you watch the live exclusive, when we go live, you actually get to see the episodes before they get released. So once the live is over, we actually take the live down, so you're not able to see it because until the actual episode drops. But when we go live a little early before we actually start recording, so you get to see like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that happened. Sometimes you might see us planning out last minute details before the podcast actually starts. So some people get to see what actually happens, what goes into doing the podcast before we actually do the
Very
podcast.
cool.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
a little bit of TV magic.
We don't do a lot of that here. We go live and we release it at a later date, but I just leave it up because I mean, realistically, with the podcast and the video stuff, like usually it's like two different audiences that are listening to it. Very often, like very rarely, do you have somebody who's like watching all the video feeds and checking out the audio.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's usually just like two different kinds of groups of people. That's for sure. Um. Anyways, man, I mean, it's a fucking blast to have you on. This episode was pretty fucking cut and dry for me personally. I mean, there wasn't a lot of meat to the story. I mean,
I just wish they would have gave me more blood in this episode.
yeah,
I really
more
like
blood.
this guy. He's got a good. I see that he's got the same mindset. I just wish there was more blood. Man, bloodier the better sometimes.
Yeah.
all of the gore was implied.
Yeah.
All of it, every little bit of it. Which I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, there's so many. I don't know, man. It's just
When it's implied, sometimes it's not a bad thing either. But
no, it's not.
sometimes you're
but
kind of
I mean,
hoping.
right. But on the bright side,
I mean, I
the
still
next
want to know what the girl
episode I
was
think is a
rehearsing
little
though.
bit more fun. So, and I know Chuck's gonna have to go ahead and give his little comment on this one next week too, or not next week, but in 2 weeks. So the next episode of Tales from the Podcast will be "Oils Well That Ends Well" with Lou Diamond Phillips and Priscilla Presley.
Yeah, I remember that. And John Cashier actually playing a character besides Crypt Keeper.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But
I remember that.
so like Martel, man, you checked out this episode, you thought it was good. Check out the next one. You
Definitely.
if you think any of these episodes are good, go back to season 2. Season 2 fucking killed it.
No. He needs to watch season 1 and season 2. Come on, those are like two of the best ones.
All right, first off, you can watch season 1 in an hour and a half.
Yeah,
There's 6 episodes.
that's like what 3 blunts and like I don't know a bottle. That's how I count anyway. I mean, like
You're not wrong, I guess.
Oh, I thought yes, I'm sitting here drinking wine. No, because when I'm watching the episode, the Crypt Keeper voice seemed a lot more high pitched than normal to me on this one.
Well, his voice changed over the years with the animatronics and the puppets. So when the puppet was able to do more, he was able to do more on there too. Yeah. Jeff just watched Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Love that cartoon.
One of the greatest cartoons ever.
Yeah, a lot of this was before I was born, so there's gonna be a lot of catching up I got to do.
Not Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
No, Tales of the Crypt Keeper was a cool cartoon show. It was the Tales of the Crypt for kids.
Yeah,
like years later, and it's still fun. I watch it with my kids all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm trying to see what date I have on these VHSs.
Yep, here we go. Look at all this collection back here I have. I'm the greatest in the world. Oh yeah.
So the VHSs came out in '93, which means that the show was probably around the same time. So I mean, it definitely is a lot of fun.
I just give them shit because I'm jealous.
It's okay. Chuck, do you want some of it?
Some of your collection?
Some of the collection?
I ain't got the money.
It's so crazy. While watching episode, I even walked down the parts where I got angry at on here. that's how into it I was. Like, yeah, that just made me mad right there.
Right? Oh, I get it. It was amazing, and I'm sad to say my knowledge of the actual show is lacking, but I'm fixing that. Well, that's good.
That's all that matters.
I think the next time I have you on, Jeff, dude, it'd be like, we're not gonna do a movie. I'm just gonna get you on for some Tales from the Crypt.
Jeff was watching Martel. This. It's okay, but it's a good thing we caught this problem when we could, and now we can get through this together, and you can fully understand.
Oh.
I did. Oh yeah. What I'm saying is.
Yeah. If you have never met Jeff, he does the Skewered Universe podcast. He's a really funny guy, really good dude.
Awesome,
big wrestling fan too, Martel. I mean, you definitely get along with him on that. That's for sure.
Oh, send me the link for that because I love my wrestling.
Oh yeah, he's a fun dude.
Hey, real quick, I gotta ask just because of that. Who's your all-time favorite wrestler?
Oh, The Undertaker.
Oh, dude, I love this guy. He's got it. Bloody and Undertaker. Come on, let's.
You know what? Souls and taking souls for 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's really how you feel, and if I don't hear back from fucking somebody who keeps wanting to buy stuff from me and then making me put it on hold for months on end, I actually have old Undertaker VHSs.
Oh shit!
What?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I collect a lot of old memorabilia and.
Hey! Yeah. We'll talk.
I also got Hulk Hogan ones.
Yeah, I'm more of an Undertaker guy, but I was a Hulkamaniac too.
Right.
I just spent $500 on his signature series belt. The Undertaker signature series belt.
Hey, I understand it. Fortunately, my collection is more about comic books than belts, but I've definitely spent quite a bit myself.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah.
Baptize awesome. Me in the waters of the Crypt Keeper. Ooh, I will. It'll be pretty gooey though, Jeff. Oh god.
And I think did I go online? Cause I remember you. It was the episode as soon as talking about the Crypt Keeper's Christmas album, and I actually went and listened to some of it that I found online, and I was just like, wow.
I did a whole episode on it. I did a whole Christmas episode on the Christmas CD.
Yeah, that's the one I was listening to, and I was like, you was going through the songs and stuff, and I actually went and tried to find some of the songs. I was like,
wish you a Merry Cryptmas, and
I was who knew that this actually existed?
I
had no clue.
Jeff wants me to do a pallbearer impression.
If Chuck does a pallbearer impression right now, give him the tapes. I'm assuming that's at Jeff's expense of him buying the tapes for you.
Oh, Undertaker! Oh. But I'd rather talk like this. Rest in peace. That makes more sense for me.
Oh god.
I love the Undertaker. I just got a special edition Undertaker figure my stepdad got me, actually. Love that shit.
Not only do I have that old VHS, but do you remember back in the days where you could buy the plastic covers for VHSs to keep the cases all like nice?
Mm-hmm.
It's in those too.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? I wouldn't expect anything else from you.
I would say the same thing. Like, I wouldn't expect anything else.
Keep in mind, like how old it is, how long it's been around, and it's like still like that's how I store everything, and I've been like that my whole fucking life.
Talk about my childhood right there.
Nope, just hand them over. Why do we have to bring money into this? Well, because I started off by talking about if somebody was actually going to get a hold of me and stop making me hold on to shit for them.
Because the power of the earth, the power of the earth. Oh, yeah.
Boom, mind blown. There we go. Much better than mine. Much better than mine.
No joke, though. That same guy has me hold on to, I think, 5 or 6 items for him right now. And it's been like 2.5, 3 months.
Wow. You'd be surprised how many times I sit around and actually practice that voice.
Oh, dude, no, I get it. I totally fucking get it. I fucking get it, man.
Well, I guess sometimes you have to. Oh, man. Where the fuck?
Now I just want to talk about wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do.
Oh, yeah, I have a big knowledge of wrestling.
If this had audio clips, I'd do my Undertaker impression. Oh, God. Well, you know what that means then, don't you guys?
I'm down.
That means we're going to have to hunt Jeff down, see if he'll come and do an impression before we get the fuck out of here. God, what the hell today has become?
He has to believe in the power of the earth.
Well, Jeff knows how to work everything and get on. So, I mean, all I can do is message him and see where it goes from there. That's for sure. But it will be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I try to make my voice go deeper, but it cracked. So I kind of gave up.
I've derailed the fucking show. Congrats to me. Yeah, let's see what happens.
I think it was a group effort.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take all the credit, Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey, who doesn't check his Facebook messages very fast,
but still commenting.
Right. So, anyways, well, I guess this is a perfect opportunity for me to go ahead and throw this out there. So, as most of you know, especially those who have jumped on and listened to Chuck's other show, The Video Store Clerks, they would notice that myself and one of my close friends here, Mr. Shanty, we both.
One of my close friends too. I was his friend first.
Fair enough.
Okay, he was my friend first.
That's fine. But he and I have a connection with this. Okay, a little bit more of a connection than you do on this one.
Okay.
All right. Well, me and Shanty, we really, really hate this actor. He goes by the name Nick Cage.
Oh God, I agree.
So
he has no facial expressions in his movies. They're all boring.
Oh well, I mean, to top it off,
some of his movies are okay, but I'm not a big fan either.
Really? Which one?
The one where he doesn't talk is my favorite. The Willy's Wonderland or whatever, Wally's or whatever. That's actually a good one.
Nah.
That's a good one. I liked it.
How about Con Air?
Not a fan.
No. What about the movie we're going to be reviewing next week, The Wicker Man?
The remake with him? No, it's gonna be a fucking like shit show. It's gonna be a butcher. It's gonna be a butcher when it comes to this, like discussing that fucking movie.
That movie is a piece of shit.
It's a big old plump of duty.
Nick Cage is like right there with Jason Blum, where it's like, who's a bigger piece of fucking shit?
Nick Cage, because Blum actually puts out some good movies, you motherfucker.
Really?
God damn it! Do we have to do this every episode?
Like Black Christmas?
No. Oh, God damn it. We know that I don't like the fucking Black Christmas. But some of his movies are either good or they're not good, okay? And there's some that are good, and you think they all suck.
Okay, fine. All right, look, if you take all of his movies, and let's just say we're looking at like a percentage scale, 5 to 8% might be tolerable.
To you.
That's not good. That's not good, dude. Those are horrible fucking odds.
Does it help that I like A2? It was A24. I think I'm really like enjoying them a lot. X. I just watched X. We won't talk about it right now, but we'll talk about it later. It was actually really good.
I watched it.
Let me guess, you hated it anyway.
What about Fantasy Island? Did you like that one?
I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was. They shouldn't have called it Fantasy Island, but.
What about the remake of The Craft? That was a really good Blumhouse film.
Yeah, I never saw that for that fucking reason. See, I didn't say all those movies were good. I said that some of them sucked and some of them were good.
All the Purge movies?
I've only seen the first two. I'm not a huge fan.
Invisible Man remake?
Fucking bullshit. Fuck that movie.
Amityville: The Awakening?
Fuck, are you serious?
Area 51, Black Christmas?
Both crap.
Truth or Dare?
That wasn't too bad.
Which one did you see? Because I don't know if you're thinking of the same one.
I don't know. I just know the one that I watched wasn't too bad.
There's two different ones
seen
there.
The majority of those movies.
Yeah, you know why? Because most of them are bullshit.
Dude, you haven't even read off like
Paranormal Activity.
I like Paranormal Activity. The first three.
You would. And what
yeah,
about the other 10?
Paranormal Activity made me realize my brother's house was haunted.
See? It helps people.
Never watched it again.
The Boy Next Door, The Darkness.
Boy Next Door was. Did I see that one? No, I haven't seen that one.
The Green Inferno, Lazarus Effect.
I like Green Inferno.
You like the Green Inferno?
Lazarus Effect wasn't bad either.
Cannibal Holocaust ripoff with diarrhea.
It's great. It's Cannibal Holocaust, but it's a homage to it. It's not bad.
It's a ripoff.
And Lazarus Effect wasn't bad.
Lazarus Effect was shit.
Unfriended? No, it was not.
What about Unfriended?
I liked Unfriended. It was stupid, but it was also like it was fun.
Stupid as shit.
I like fun movies, and not all of them are good, but they're fun.
Well, I can tell that. The remake of The Town That Dreaded Sundown?
Not as good as the original.
What do you think of this dude and all of his piece of shit remakes?
I don't like a lot of remakes.
It's like he buys names just to ruin it because he's a cocksucker.
Martel, what you're seeing here is a regular thing that happens between me and JB. Because he brings up Blum, and then I'm like, hey, he's not that bad, and he's like, wait, this is why he sucks ass, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, tell me I don't have a valid point. Anyways,
I'm not saying you have a horrible point. I'm just saying that some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, some are good if you have shitty taste in movies. Some are bad if you don't like look at any of them. Anyways, here is Jeff, who's going to be joining us to do an impression real quick.
Jeff, do an impression.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. That's not the impression you guys want, is it?
That's what we got.
Shit. Fuck me with some
Chuck and JB, your souls will forever be kept in the crypt of the Undertaker. You will fill my urn, and the power will suffice to bring me back from the nether realm and into the ring once more to harvest more souls.
Ooh, yeah!
Somebody's done some practicing there, dude. That's for sure.
Dude, ever since I was a kid.
I was expecting the spirit of the Undertaker lives within the soul of all mankind, the eternal flame of life, which cannot be.
See, if I knew that promo, I would have done it.
Wow. I love this episode. I'm glad I jumped on for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, none of this was even expected, for sure. But it's always fun. It's what makes
always fun. I'll drink to that.
Sure. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'll drink to that moment. I like those.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So, anyways, though, I mean, thank you, Jeff, for coming out, giving us your impression, buddy.
Of course.
We are going to be signing off, though. Next week, like I said, check us out. All right, man. I'll talk
later,
to you
Jeff.
Later. Thank you. So, next week, check it out. Like I said, everybody, we are going to be talking about the shitty Nick Cage movie with the shitty actor Nick Cage, who plays in the Wicker Man remake. That's a piece of shit movie that Nick Cage is in. Because he's a piece of shit.
I don't think I heard shit so many times in a sentence in my life before.
Well, have us on your show sometime and you'll hear the word anal over and over again.
To be fair, if you want to hear it just as many times, I could talk about Will Smith in Wild Wild West.
Ugh.
Oh, God, it was.
Hey, can I hawk my shit before we get off here?
All right, who do you hate?
Oh, well, I mean, I hate a lot of people, but I mean, like, hawking my shit, like...
I thought
The
we were
band
talking
and
about
stuff.
who we hated.
Oh, who we hate? I hate a lot of people. Jared Leto, I really hate that fucking guy. His
Really?
face annoys me. I don't know if I don't know if I dislike him. No, actually, I dislike him more than Nick Cage. I think Nick Cage annoys me, but at the same point, Jared Leto, everything he's in. Oh yeah, it didn't help that his band really sucks. And I fuck that guy.
I
But,
get that. I get that
yeah.
for sure. But Requiem for a Dream was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Minus him.
Well,
You know, I think that honestly, did you ever see that movie
I
where he
like him a
played
lot more than Nick Cage.
Did you ever see that movie where he played Mark David Chapman, the guy that killed Lennon?
No, I don't watch a lot of his movies. That's probably
Yeah,
why
I watched it just for shits and giggles, and actually, I'll tell you what, he gained a bunch of weight for that fucking role and pretty much owned it. Now I need throat lozenges or whiskey. I would go with whiskey, Jeff.
Probably.
Go with whiskey, brother.
But go ahead. I know you want to talk about your band for a minute because what is it? The Legitimate Sons of a Jesus Pig?
Yeah. All right, so my band's called Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. You can check us out on Facebook, Spotify, and all those fucking places. Just look us up. We've got live videos that are pretty cool on YouTube. All our albums are out there at the moment. We're recording new stuff. We have a couple of shows coming up. One that was supposed to be next month. It's kind of iffy at the moment. And one coming up in August, I think. So we'll get to that later on down the road. But yeah, check us out, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. Just look it up in Google. You'll see every fucking site you need. There's even stuff I found about us that I didn't know about. It's kind of cool. And also, like JB mentioned earlier, the Video Store Clerks, which is one of the other podcasts I do that we usually do it on Wednesdays at 9:30 now, 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Should
and
you even say a time? Let's be honest.
it's 9:30.
It's like 9:30.
It's usually 9. It's usually
whatever.
9, but we decided to go 9:30.
But we're gonna go on whenever the fuck we feel like it.
I mean, sometimes shit happens. Okay, whatever, dude. But those are the two regular podcasts, and then occasionally you have Nasty Nation and Graveyard Talk that come out whenever me and Whitman feel like doing them. Which those are on Anchor and Spotify and all that fun shit. And also can't forget about Tales from the Podcast /2G1C, which duh.
So you're watching right now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, donate some money to us, and throw like a $300 donation PayPal. You get a picture of Chuck's wiener.
What?
I'll even make it hard for 4. Anyway.
What did I just stumble into?
Dude, you have no idea.
You just stumbled into a podcast that's really, really, really willing to go for cash grabs.
Yeah, usually we're 10 times more raunchy than this tonight. You got a calm evening. But yeah, totally. Yeah. Send $400. I'll give you a hard one. Hey, Playgirl will pay you a bunch of money. If you can pose with a heart on. Peter Steele from Type 1 Negative did it. Pimp? No one else has ever done it.
Does that kind of make me your pimp since I'm collecting the money for it?
No, I ain't fucking nobody you telling me to.
No, but you can be my hoe.
Motherfucker.
I mean,
I love you so much. You're my brother, and I say this with utmost respect, love, and compassionate, but fuck you.
I mean, I pimp on I be pimping on my co-hosts to do OnlyFans pages, so
there we go.
I'm getting ready to actually. We'll see how much money people give me to not take my clothes off.
Fair. I like that, Jeff. Yes. Like, subscribe, hit notification icon, enjoy Tales from the Podcast /2G1C, plus get a collectible NFT of Chuck's dong.
Hey, if the price is right, I'll be your whore.
The price is right. It's 2 actual size, 5 pixels by 5 pixels. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Thank you, Martel, dude, so much for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. Everybody, please check out what he's doing over at Same Cast Different Day. Check out his Facebook. Check out his YouTube channel. Those are going to be in the show notes on the podcast as well. I guess that's basically it, guys. So with that being said, the Crypt
is closed.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.